Hey guys, it's your girl Lisa here, and here is my crazy idea for this amazing podcast, Value in the Vent. Let's grow through what we go through. And this harebrained idea has been something I have wanted to do for a while, and I was so excited. This is going to be more like a video chat because I don't have all the fancy equipment for a podcast yet. But one of the things I'm really striving to do as I get older is remember that done is better than perfect. I very much am a perfectionist, especially when it comes to things like this, documentation, presentation. I do want things to be perfect. I just think that shows your effort, your concern. And this is one of those projects where I was just like, I think I just want to get started. And I will eventually get all of the boom arms and fancy microphones and soundboards and all the things. But let me just get started. So I asked in my group if there was a specific topic that you guys wanted me to start with. So I thought I would just start with one that's kind of near and dear to my heart. So the things I asked in my group and polled my group for was asking, do you want to know how I handle household responsibilities as well as the responsibilities of running a successful business? Do you want to know what the challenges are that I face with a neurotypical and a neurodivergent child? And do you want to know why I decided to homeschool my son in fourth grade and what were the challenges? So just 3 topics that are just a part of my life that don't absolutely make me an expert on them for sure, but just something I've gone through. So this whole Value in the Vent is really just about struggles. It's about overcoming obstacles. It's about what did you learn? It's what could you learn? What could you have done differently? Is there someone else struggling in the same boat with rowing down the same struggle river and using one paddle, and maybe they have another paddle they can give you, which would be a resource for your toolbox. So I'm Lisa, and I have a business called Lee Marie Photography. I won't be doing this introduction every time, but I'll do it today. Most of the time, you're going to see me in band t-shirts. I love graphic tees and comfortability. So I love to be comfortable. I do have a shoot today, like most days, and I don't like to be all fancy. I do my hair and makeup pretty much every day. That just helps boost my confidence and makes me feel better. So I know it's not for everybody, but I just love it. And I can tell that I'm a different person, even how I interact with my kids and my husband, if I feel pretty and I feel confident. So anywho, that's me. All right. So I thought I would actually start with how I handle the responsibilities of the household and run a successful business. So this is not without challenges. And can I get an amen? It doesn't matter if you are running a business or you're a stay-at-home mom, a work-from-home mom, a work in the corporate world mom, I work a 9 to 5, I work a half a day. I don't care. Work for yourself. You have a side hustle. It is difficult. So I always feel like the mental workload really does get overlooked. And there have been so many things that have come up in the last year or so, maybe even 2 years, as my husband started a new business as well. So we opened an indoor soccer facility called Crossbars, that I have found that the mental load and the second and third and fourth shift are way different for a mom and a wife than it is for a husband. And it's not to say that there's one, better than the other, because this is definitely not bashing. It's just what has come to my realization and things that have been brought to my attention. And I'm like, oh, there is a lot. So I talked about this earlier. Women take on a lot. We're amazing creatures. You're probably going to hear me say that a million times, especially in this Value in the Vent. But one of the things that has really come up is just the balancing act and trying to balance and fulfill everyone's needs. And women do that a lot, and we do it selflessly. We kind of give of ourselves, and we try to make sure everybody's happy. And it's crazy. And then we just are left kind of empty. But for me, what is on my plate is obviously I work and I shoot my clients 9 to noon, but there's a lot that goes into that. So there's the setup of the studio to prepare. So things that I have to do before a client comes in. For me, it is set up the studio. I'm changing out bedding. I am vacuuming, I am wiping down mirrors, I'm cleaning makeup brushes, I'm making sure everything is put together. I look over the questionnaire of my clients, make sure that I have the outfits that they would really love. If they've chosen wings, what color wings do they want to wear? So I'm really setting all that up. Then I come into my house and also clean my house because my clients come through the front door and then walk down to my studio. So I have to make sure that my downstairs looks like it should be on the cover of Better Homes and Gardens. So that's that perfectionist in me. So for me, there is a lot of starting the dishwasher, starting the laundry. One of the things that I've taken on this year, or even maybe last year, but but yeah, 2024, because we're just in the beginning of 2025. I run my dishwasher a lot. So I run small loads. So that is one thing that I have found that keeps me sane. I run small loads in the dishwasher, so it's easier for me every morning to empty the dishwasher and put things away, and then the things that are in the sink can now go in the dishwasher. So that's a really big one for me. I don't know, that might not be something that works for your family. I am a family of four. There are a lot of dishes. I do use paper plates and napkins and things like that, but still, spoons seem to grow legs. What are happening with spoons? They're getting thrown away, right? That's what's happening. Our kids are throwing away our spoons. What are happening with spoons? I almost think I should just buy some plastic spoons from the Dollar Tree because spoons are getting thrown away. My daughter's either throwing them away in her yogurt, my son's throwing them away in his oatmeal. What are happening to spoons? Okay, let's have a moment. But I do run the dishwasher almost every single night. So even if it's a large load, small load, medium load, I don't care. I'm running it. I put my pots and pans in there. That might not be something that you guys do, but I put my pots and pans in there, and then I hit the heavy wash, and I am washing that. I do not have time to hand wash things, nor do I want to. One of the things I really work on is making sure I'm not doing things that I don't enjoy. Maybe that's the other thing. Don't do things that you don't enjoy. If you don't enjoy washing dishes, don't wash them. Put them in the dishwasher. I think I get an amen for that. Okay, laundry. I don't know what to tell you guys. Laundry is something we're going to forever do. You're going to do 5 or 6 loads a day and think you're all done and then turn around and someone needs a practice uniform washed. I don't know. Laundry is my Waterloo. And it's funny if you're on here for the first time and you hear me use terms like Waterloo or any battles. My dad is an amazing man, and I grew up learning all of these battles and all of these wars. I know everything about Waterloo and Napoleon and Josephine. I know so much about the Civil War, World War II. I've seen Pearl Harbor. Midway is one of my favorite movies. Seriously, I grew up just with all of this war knowledge from my dad, who is a full-bird colonel, retired. So yeah, laundry is my Waterloo. I will forever be doing laundry. One of the things I did take on to run a successful household with laundry, I did away with every single colored towel I had. I just bought all white towels. I washed all of my towels on the white wash setting of my laundry, and I do them all together, hot water, and I'm done. I tried to have pretty cute towels, things that matched each bathroom, done. All white towels, and I have a ton of them. We go through towels like crazy. My kids both have bathrooms in their rooms, and it's amazing, and I love it. But towels, that's how they get washed. I have no colored, no cute towels. All of them are white. Done. The other thing is I don't like to fold laundry. Anybody else not love to fold laundry? I hate to fold laundry. So one of the things I took on, I think 2 years ago, is my husband and I's closet. We have a lot of graphic tees and a lot of shirts. I hang everything up. I bought a bunch of hangers. I hang up every shirt. If it's a shirt that I haven't seen my husband wear in a while, I donate it. And the same thing with me. So with a lot of graphic tees, a lot of tees that are like club related, whether my son's playing some sort of sport, my daughter's swim team t-shirt, like I'll keep them for a while and then I donate them. So I hang up everything. I would rather hang up clothes than fold clothes and find a way to put them away. I have found when I fold them and put them in a basket, that's where they stay. I have the hardest time putting laundry away. I just do. It's enough for me to wash them, put them in the dryer, fold them, and then where do they go? I have to take them upstairs, find appropriate homes. And I do that for my kids. For the most part, I am about to turn that over, and they are going to have individual baskets, and they're going to take their things up and put them away where they need to go. My goal is to make sure that their closets stay clean so they know exactly where to put them, so that's easy for them, and that's one less thing for me to do. But for my husband and I hang up everything. I just hang them up. I'd rather hang them up. Get them out of the dryer, hang them up, put them in the closet. It's perfect. So that's what I do with that. As far as cleaning and bedding, we do have a cleaning lady. Her name's Tabitha. She's amazing, and she comes to our house once a month, and she does a clean, and I love it. It truly keeps me from going insane about cleaning my showers, my sinks, my toilets, the floors. It's like one big clean once a month. I wish we could do it more, but this works for us. So one big clean once a month, and that's perfect. Again, don't do the things you don't love. I don't love to clean, so I set aside money for her to do it. And she does an amazing job. I do make my bed every day. That is also something that was instilled with me with my mom and my grandparents. It was always about making your bed. There is a motivational speaker that talks about the 10 traits of highly successful people, and the number one is making their beds in the morning. So I instill that in my kids too. I'm like, make your beds. You never know who's going to come over. My kids ask for a friend over all the time. Do your kids ask for friends? My kids ask for friends over all the time. We used to have, and we still kind of have, Fun Friend Friday. So if it's been a great week, they've done really good, they've done great in school, they've done their homework, they've asked and kind of picked up around the house, and there's not been any real big blow ups. No one's lost an Xbox or an iPad. Everybody's doing pretty good. We'll do Fun Friend Friday, and a friend will come over. One of my biggest pet peeves is my kids' rooms are an absolute disaster. Right? I can't stand that. You're going to have friends in your room and you've got stuff strung everywhere. Your bed's unmade. So I do ask my kids to make their bed because you just never know who's going to come over. Right? Okay. So I'm kind of talking to you a little bit more about kind of household responsibilities. We also have a dog. That's another thing. We also have an axolotl. If you don't know what that is, look that up. That's a little aquarium creature that lives on the land and in water. It's kind of like a salamander. I think it's called the Mexican walking salamander. It's really cute. His name is Toothless. And then we just, thank you to our grandparents for my kids. They sent them some money for Valentine's Day, and my son just absolutely wanted a saltwater tank. So now we have a saltwater aquarium with a Nemo clownfish and a pufferfish named Biggie. So yeah. Okay, there's that. So now we have like all of these things that have to be taken care of. My number one rule in our house, and I say it every day and my kids can say it back to you. If you ask my kids, what's the number one rule in your house? It is, do not make more work for mommy. Do not make more work for mommy. And that means think about what you're doing. So if you're taking food upstairs, 9 times out of 10, something's getting spilled, and that's more work for mommy because now I have to clean that up. Do not make more work for me. Don't bring things in the house that create more work. Don't do things that I already have enough on my plate. Don't do things that you think might create more work for me. Not happening. So there's that. As far as running a successful business in the midst of all of this, I really try to look at my day as, first shift, second shift, third shift, fourth shift. The first shift for me during the day is getting my kids up, breakfast, getting them to school, making sure they have everything in their book bags. iPad's been charged. They have water bottles, which my husband does. So my husband does the check through the book bags, and I do the pack the lunches. I try to do it the night before because for me in the mornings when I'm already thinking about a client coming and making sure I have everything ready for a client, I really like to do things the night before. I don't mind to go ahead and pre-make the coffee and set the timer, go ahead and cut up the apple, go ahead and make my son's sandwich and my daughter's yogurt, get all that stuff together. I'd rather do that the night before. So I really do try to do that. Now, that doesn't always happen because we do get in late sometimes from soccer practice and I'm just exhausted. But I really do try to do that because I know in the morning my mental health would be so much better if it's already done. So I do try to do that. We will go through and make sure everything is ready to rock and roll. I do go ahead and pick out clothes for my kids because, listen, my eyelash got stuck right there. It's just so funny. My fake eyelash got stuck on my bottom lash. But bless our kids. I don't know what they would wear to school if we didn't help. It'd just be Crocs. I think it would just be Crocs and a hoodie and shorts. Why is this the uniform? Why is this the uniform for our kids these days? Anyway, what ifs? Okay, so I do pick out my kids' clothes and make sure they've brushed their teeth and then off to school. Then once my kids leave, if I haven't gotten up early that morning, I'll get up at 5:30 so that I can go ahead and do my hair and makeup and then help my kids get ready. They get up at 6 and they're really great about getting up. Like neither one of my kids are like super crazy about or cranky. My son's an early riser anyway. Sometimes he gets up at like 5:20, which is so strange to me. But anyway, he's got FOMO. So I do make sure, everything is set and ready to rock and roll. If I haven't done my hair and makeup after they leave, I will do it then. And then I start to do some of the prep things that are required for my business, like going down to the studio, making sure everything's set up. Right now, it's also about making sure my studio is toasty. It's cold down there right now, so my mini split doesn't completely heat it, so I have to go down and turn on space heater and sometimes my little propane heater. So I go down to make sure all of that is set. I come in my office. This is my office, and this is probably where I'll shoot all the podcasts because I love it. I have this beautiful mural that just reminds me of simpler times and warmer days, and I like it a lot, and it's kind of definitely my personality. I consider myself kind of boho chic slash rock star, boho rock star. I don't know. That's kind of how I like to dress, and I don't know. It's just kind of my vibe. I just love that kind of easy breezy, but then also a little edgy. So anywho, so I'll come in here and I'll sit down, and if I have time, I'll shoot a live for my Facebook group, my closed Facebook group. I will send out email reminders for clients that are coming in. I also have virtual reveal appointments, like I have one today, and I want to make sure that they have the link and that they're still set to go for the time that they've selected. I'll also kind of look at what's one thing that will bring me money in today. So the goal as a business owner is, right, to have clients, to create income. So I look at one generating income or income generating project that I can do for the day. So whether that's a post, whether that's a newsletter, whether that is, something in one of the moms groups, or someone who's reached out that I haven't had a chance to follow up with, I'll do that. So there's a saying, the fortune's in the follow-up. So I really try to make sure that I follow up with my clients and see if they have any questions, especially if we've just done a phone consult and they're looking at dates. So I'll kind of come in here and just do all of that. I'll also do a few things that are going to be special for my client that's coming. So I have a big screen TV right as you walk in, and it always has welcome whoever, Samantha, Abigail, Devin, whoever's coming in, Paris that day, it'll say, welcome Paris to your boudoir session, and then have the date under it. And I do want to make sure that that's personalized and ready for them. And then we will start the shoot. We're going to shoot and be together for 3 hours. And I love that part. I treat every client as a special MVP, very important person in my studio every single day. So it's really important that they get a one-on-one connection with me and that I am not off somewhere else in la la land thinking about my kids or what I need to do next. So I really do try to separate the two. It's really important that I am Lisa and that they get the best version of me during their shoot, because that's what I would want. I really do try to treat my clients the way I get treated. Then once my client leaves, I try to edit 2 photos during that time, unless I have a virtual appointment or something like that. I will try to edit their 2 sneak peek photos. I give every client 2 photos right after their session as a sneak peek and confirm their reveal appointment. And I get that to them that night. So that's something I try to do quickly before my kids come home. Then when my kids come home, that's it, right? So my kids come home, and that is third shift for me. Third shift for me means I am making them either a snack or some sort of pre-dinner. My kids eat pretty early because of all the activities. So usually around 2:30, 2:45, they're eating, a couple chicken fingers and some French fries, and apple slices or something like that, or a snack, if we're going to do a dinner after that. But anywho, and then, we go straight into homework. So we go into homework at 3:00. I really am a firm believer that my kids do really well when that's done. Now, is it difficult? Yes. With my son, absolutely. And we'll talk a little bit more about the challenges of having a neurotypical child, which is my daughter, and a neurodivergent child, which is my son. My daughter does her homework on her own. My son spends an hour and 15 minutes fighting me. It's getting better, but it is a lot. Homework for us, I have to put on the full armor of God and buckle up because it is going to be a crazy ride. So doing homework with my son with the full armor of God, buckled up, sharpened pencils, 4 or 5 notebooks, it's still super crazy. So it is a lot. We tackle it together. I tell my son all the time, you are made to do hard things. Like, we are made to do hard things. This is hard. And I'm trying to work with my son a little bit more about his confidence. And I found this great, and I'll share it with you guys, this great little, I don't know, it was on Instagram, Coaching with Will, 10 things I wish all kids knew about confidence. I'm not going to go through all of them, but a couple that really hit hard with me or hit home with me to talk to my son about One is confidence grows by doing hard things, not by avoiding them. So it's not by avoiding them. We have to do them. The other is confidence isn't something you're born with or without. It's something you practice every day. So you don't just wake up and are confident. Like, you have to put this into practice. It's like everything else. Um, let's see. This is the other one is confidence. This is the one I've been telling him. Confidence is built in the trying, not the knowing. We will be doing fifth grade math and he'll go, I don't know, Mom. I don't know. And I'm like, I'm not asking you to know. You've never done fifth grade before. I'm asking you to try. So confidence isn't in the knowing, it is in the trying. And you have to do it consistently. And then the last one that really hit home for me, although there's 10 and they're really great, confidence comes from stacking little wins consistently. And that's what I'm trying to help him with soccer too. Confidence is about stacking all the little wins. It's not about how many goals you scored, and it's not about, how many assists you have or how many A's you get. We're just stacking little wins. You made an F on that math test last week. Let's make a D this week. Let's make a C next week. It's about stacking the little wins and doing it consistently. So homework is a challenge. Now on Wednesdays, we do have a tutor for my son, and we've had Miss Caroline for the last 3 years. She helped us during the homeschooling time. She helped us a year prior to that. So when there were some really challenges with Titus really started in 3rd grade. So once we started to really see those and some differences between just how much he was struggling and how much effort he was putting in, that's when we got a tutor. So we've had Miss Caroline. She comes once a week. She's absolutely amazing. She spends 45 minutes with him, and he really responds really well to her. I almost wish she came more. However, our schedule doesn't allow it. Monday and Tuesday, my son has soccer practice, and Thursday. So Wednesdays and Fridays are the only 2 days. So Wednesdays is a big one for us with the tutor, and then on Friday, that's Fun Friday. So I really do want to make sure that my kids still get to be kids, and they don't have homework on Friday. So to have a tutor come back on Friday just seemed like a lot. And I am trying to just keep my son motivated and between the rails, as my mom would say. So then there's homework. So then after homework for my kids, either we are packing up and headed out the door to soccer practice, or my daughter is going to Acting Up. Now, I do have an amazing tribe. My parents just moved closer, and they are amazing, and they help out with so much. So they are amazing. They help out. They pick up my daughter so that she can go to Acting Up, which is an acting up class, not therapy. It is an acting class. They are putting on Finding Nemo Jr. in May, and she loves it. And my parents are just so amazing because they pick her up, they take her, they pick her up from that, they take her to their house, they make sure that takes a shower and that she gets to eat. They love on her. They play games. They play store. They really pour into her and let her be a kid, and I love that. So it's a challenge. I think when we signed up for things, my husband thought he'd be a little bit more available to help with all of the Ubering and taxi driving of our kids to these activities, but unfortunately he is just so needed at Crossbars. A lot of it, if not all of it, has been left to me and for me to find a way. And women will make a way. Women are amazing creatures. There, I'm going to say it again. We will find a way. Women are super resilient. We don't take no for an answer, and we push forward. And especially when it comes to bettering ourselves, but more importantly, bettering our families or our kids. So if it's something our kids need, or socially or mentally or physically, we will find a way. And so my parents have stepped in, and they've just been so great. And then after soccer practice, we do the showers and bedtime routine, and that is it. So now I will tell you too, one of the things I'm trying to help my son with, because it's a lot of moving parts, and it's a lot of the nighttime routine kind of creeps in, and it's like, okay, so for dinner for my son, I'll just put this out there too, in case anybody's wondering, because again, this is just my podcast and really literally just me talking. But for my son, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday on the way home from soccer, previous years we had stopped and would get him fast food or Subway or something like that. Or when he would come home at 8:30 at night, we were feeding him Stouffer's pizza breads or chicken fingers and French fries. And so not good food, just fast food. And we really needed to take a look at that and how it was affecting his performance, how it was affecting his mental health, how it was impacting his grades and how he felt in the morning. And so now, and we started this last year, my son on the way home from practice, he does eat in the car, but he has an Orgain protein shake and apple slices, and then either like a Nutrigrain bar or Goldfish. So he still has a couple of snacks in there, but mainly it's the apple slices, which a whole apple, and then the Orgain shake. And so much better. He's not going to bed with all of this junky food just laying in his system, and then we're expecting him to perform like an elite athlete. Whatever. So those are just some things with that as well. And I will tell you this too, you know, we are trying to do our very best to support Titus in an area that he absolutely loves and one that he somewhat excels in, and that's soccer. I guess it was probably 3.5, 4 years ago. I had a teacher that was one of my clients, and it's not quite that long ago. I guess it was when Titus was in 3rd grade, and we started to see some of the struggling. I had a teacher in my hair and makeup chair, and we were doing hair and makeup for her session, and she had just gotten back from a conference, and she actually said that this conference would probably have been better suited for parents versus teachers, or at least parents should have an opportunity to hear from this guest speaker, because they said something that really resonated with her to help her students, but also to help her own kids. And that was, if your son is horrible at math, but great at tennis, get them a tennis coach and not a math tutor. So it's more about pouring into our kids in the areas that they excel, more so than the areas that they struggle in. And I have been thinking about that statement for so long. I think I've even said it to several clients, obviously my mom, because I think it's eye-opening how we respond to kids and how we want them to excel. If you can hear my dog, he is snoring. He's sitting right now. We have a little French bulldog named Ted. But anyway, so it's something I'm trying to work on too. And just Titus loves soccer. He excels in that sport. It's where he finds his wins. So I also want to make sure that he doesn't, lose that part of himself because he doesn't find wins in the classroom. It is a struggle. It's something he has to work 3 times as hard as your average student. And he's not lazy. I will say that. It's just that he has to work so much harder. And that for him is frustrating. And I get it. And so I do watch him struggle. And there's something, it's heartbreaking to watch your kids struggle in anything. But definitely is something that they want to excel in and do as well as their peers. So I'm telling you guys, this parenting and motherhood, it is not for the faint of heart. All right. So I think that's enough for this first podcast. Hopefully that lets you know a little bit about how I run a household and then my business. Truly, I could not be successful without my clients. They're absolutely amazing. And my probably 90% of my business is referral based. And that's because I've had so many amazing clients. They have shouted my name from the rooftops. They have told their friends. They have told their bridesmaids. It's just been amazing to me how many people will offer me up, say, oh my gosh, you have to see my girl Lisa for your boudoir session. And I just thank you. And even for your branding sessions, so many of you guys are coming back to me for your branding sessions, and that's been so much fun. So just thank you a million times over. I'm excited about this little podcast, Value in the Vent. Hopefully you've had and found some value and just me kind of venting and telling you a little bit about how things kind of run here at the Let's household. And it's crazy and chaotic. And I just try to take moments of kind of step outside of yourself. I think that's a big one. Step outside of yourself. I like to listen to my kids laugh. I like to be a part of that laughter. A couple things I'm going to work on is finding the fun in the mundane. That's going to be a really big one. And maybe we'll have a whole podcast on that as well. And I can bring in some people that I know do this really well, or a guest speaker. But finding the fun in the mundane. So when you are loading the dishwasher, maybe you're playing freeze tag. If they are brushing their teeth, maybe you're doing some sort of fun countdown or hide and seek. So finding the fun in the mundane, I think your kids can watch you be spontaneous and fun. There is something to be said about that. Now, with that being said, I did post something yesterday that really hit home to me, and I'm going to see if it's still on my Instagram stories. But it was the fact that the mental load leaves little room for presence. The weight of constant responsibility leaves little space for spontaneity. So I do feel that to my core. I feel like the mental load that I carry around, it is super heavy. It is, are the bills getting paid? Is the laundry done? Did I order things from Instacart that my daughter asked for? Did I get the Instacart off the front porch? Has someone taken the dog out? Has someone fed the dog? Did someone pick up the dog's poo? Did I send out the confirmation email to my client? Did my son remember to charge his iPad? Does my daughter have what she needs for acting up? Where's her script book? The mental load for all moms is ridiculous. Truly, it's so much. And it leaves little room for presence because all of that is kind of closing, it's on your back and it's closing you and drawing you inward. So the weight of that is just huge and it's constant and it leaves little space for spontaneity. You know, my daughter told me, it's been a while, I think maybe last year, she said, Mom, why don't you laugh more? And that hit home to me. I don't laugh. I'm so serious. I am always thinking about what's next and how we're going to get from point A to point B and how we're going to do that smoothly. The transition is smoothly. There are no outbursts constantly. So it leaves very little room for spontaneity. I want there to be more spontaneity and fun, and that's something. And maybe spontaneity is my 2025 word. Maybe we need to talk about that. What's your word? I haven't even thought of what my word would be for 2025. Connected is a big one, and spontaneity. But maybe we can do a little poll on what our word should be for 2025. I know we're in February, but does it really matter? Maybe it's something that you really want to focus and do more of. I want to be more spontaneous with my kids, with my family. I want them to see the fun mom. I am very fun. I love it. And I get to be fun with my clients because it doesn't feel heavy. When you are nurturing and bringing up littles and making sure that you aren't messing them up, that's heavy. So again, the spontaneity kind of goes out the door because you're really just making sure that they're staying between the rails and that you're pouring in love. And I feel that my kids feel the love, but I know they don't see the fun, Lisa, and the spontaneity. So that's my goal. All right. I love you guys. Thanks for the first podcast of Value in the Vent. I will hopefully get a chance to do this again soon and start to kind of really bring on some guest speakers that you guys can hear from and learn from. And again, just find the value in. I love you guys so much. Let's continue to grow through what we go through. Love you. Have a beautiful and blessed day.